Hey, welcome back. Today, we're going to look at LinuxHub, the Arch edition. So this is the one I've been working on for like a month now, and it's basically my own spin on Arch. Of course, I'm using the OpenBox window manager along with the 10.2 panel. All right. So on this one, I was gonna make it with Calamares to have the Calamares installer, but there's just a lot of dependencies and things to worry about with Calamares. So in order to keep this upgraded in a normal fashion, that's not stressing my brain out, I just went and scripted my own installer. So you're looking at it here. So as soon as you boot up the ISO, it's gonna land you on this right here. So this installation screen is going to open up as soon as you load the ISO. So you got a button right here that says begin installation. Once you click on that, it starts the whole installation process. So I'll walk you through it. It's using the basic Arch install script to install just the base system of Arch. And then once the Arch install script is completed, then it'll ask you for a few more things to get the whole thing set up. But you'll see it right now as I go through it. And another thing that I'm also doing with this, I'm also adding this into the ISO so you can create your own distro if you want to. I'll make another separate video on that later on in the future of how to work with the scripts and how to change whatever you want to change for your branding, put your own name on it, do whatever you want with it. I'm going to put it out there for free so you can have it, enjoy it, and have fun with it. You'll be able to make your own Arch distro. But since we're here at the installation screen, let's go ahead and get it started so you can see how it works. Like I said, it's something that I scripted it. And the scripts, I'm not changing the scripts. I'm leaving them just the way I wrote them so you can see I'm a dirty script writer. I don't take time to make everything look pretty or anything like that. I just wrote it and threw it on there. So you'll see it. If you do want to play with it, take a look at it. Like I said, I'm a one-man army and I just did it all on my own. And a lot of it's copy paste from Google search and things like that. So it's no big secret, but you'll be able to see it if you want to play with it, get into it and know it. But for right now, we're just going to do the installation and I'm going to show you the system so you see what you get when you install LinuxHub. It's just a basic, it's going to be a vanilla install. You'll have a video player, a music player, a image editor, text editor. You'll have all your basic stuff. And from there, you could just make it your own and do whatever you want with it. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the installation here. I'll click on this button that says begin installation. And the first thing you're prompted with is to add a username. So in this case, I'm not going to call it LinuxHub because, well, just the way I've been testing it, I learned while I was testing it that if I call it LinuxHub, I got a lot of LinuxHub in the code itself. So I'm just going to call it Hub. For those of you that write code and know things like that, you kind of understand where I'm coming from. So boom, do that. Now I'll give it a password. Do that. Now I'll give the root a password. It's a simple script. It's not, I know it looks fancy and stuff, but it's not. Trust me. And right here, before the actual installation starts, I prompted this window to open up right here. And it says, welcome to LinuxHub Arch Installer. Most users in the US only have to edit one item. That's disk configuration. And that's this right here, the disk configuration portion. That's basically all you have to edit. But you can edit everything else if you want to. But in most cases, that's the only thing you want to edit. It's the disk configuration so you can set your drives. If you want to manually partition it, if you want to set it up how you want to dual boot, whatever, you do it however you want to do it. But that's basically the only real thing you have to deal with. Now, obviously, if English or US is not your country, then you want to play with the mirrors, the locales, you know, things like that. If you want to change the host name, you could change the host name. You could do whatever you want with it. But most users, to keep it simple, all you have to do is a disk configuration and that's it. And then you go straight to install. So that's basically what this is telling you right here. So I'm going to click on continue and it'll start up. And most of it's done right here in the terminal. So you'll see right here. So I just scroll down. So if you want to change your mirrors, you can do that, your locales, but I'm just going straight to disk configuration, click on it, And I'm gonna leave it on use the best effort default partition layout. Click on that, select the drive you wanted to install it to. So this one is gonna be the 42 gigabyte drive on my virtual machine. I'll select it. And then right here, I always use ext4. I'm pretty sure they all work great, but it's just a default habit. I always use ext4. So I'm going to select it. You can select whatever you want. And then yes, on default, I would like to create a separate partition for home. Yes, select that. And now I'm going all the way down. I'm going to skip all the rest and just going straight to install. And from right here, boom, click on install. And then it's telling me to click continue again. I'll do that and it's off to the races. So from right here, it's going to install. It's going to do its thing. Now, after this is done, there's a couple more steps, but I'm going to show you those right now. It's nothing major. It's a couple of little steps just to make it your own. All right. So right here, while it's installing, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. And when we come back, it's going to be a couple more steps that we have to do, but you'll see how simple it is. And then we'll just go from there. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video now. And when we come back, the base will be installed. All right, the base is now installed. So once that's installed, you'll be prompted with an option to, if you want to chroot into your system and make some changes. If you want to do that, feel free and go ahead and do that. But I'm just going to select no and move on to the next process. So once you select no, this right here, this is the LinuxHub part right here. This is what I wrote into the script. So it says right here, we're almost done. Enter username below to continue additional setups. So right here, I used hub as the username. So I enter it and just click enter. Now you won't see nothing pop up right here. So just be patient. It's going to take a minute or two for it to finish doing what it's doing. It doesn't take that long, but it is going to be a couple minutes. And then once it's done doing its thing, there's going to be one more prompt. And it's gonna be a simple ask you a question. You either type Y, yes or no, and then you'll enter your name again. And that'll be it. You'll be fully installed. But I'll walk you through everything right here so you can see it. And hey, have fun with it, right? So yeah, this is what I've been working on for the last month, I would say. I've been going back and forth, create the ISO, test it out, find something wrong, destroy it, create a new ISO, test it out, find something wrong, destroy it. Just think of it like 20 times a day I would do that. Create a new ISO, find what was wrong, fix it, and then start over again. It was just back and forth, literally since about like the 4th or 5th of February. That's what I've been doing. Just playing with it, trying to get it right, trying to get everything situated. But I mean, it's not like I'm doing it. I've also been having a lot of work and stuff. So I've been working a whole lot because of these rains. So it's been getting in the way of rushing this to get out. So I would say I would put about an hour or two a day into it. All right. So here's another prompt. It says to enable auto login. So if you want to enable it, you can. If you don't, you just type in. So I'm going to go ahead and enable it just to show you how it works. So I just type Y, click in and enter the username again one more time. Done. And that's it. We're pretty much done with the installation. So it says adding user hub to group auto login. Auto login is now enabled. You will be asked for a password on your first boot, but then after that, it will auto log in automatically. And you get a pop-up here. Installation complete. You may now reboot your system. So I'll go ahead and do that now. And we are rebooted now. And this is on, like I said, on the first boot. If you select to go ahead and select auto login, it's going to ask you for a password on your first boot. But then after this, it won't ask again. And here we are. Now we are fully installed. And this is the welcome screen you'll see on the LinuxHub Arch Edition. All right. So like I said before, this is the OpenBox window manager, the Tint 2 panel. And I did put the XFCE4 menu launcher just to make it easier. You know what I mean? Just something simple that's everyone's familiar with. So right here, you got your standard layout, you got your favorites. recently used, all applications, accessories, development, graphics, internet, multimedia, other, your settings, and your system. All right, and that is your menu launcher. And pinned to the panel, I just have three things right here. I have a terminal. So this is the LX terminal that I have right here. And when you select it, it opens up NeoFetch automatically. But let me go ahead and make this bigger. So you see now we are on LinuxHub Arch. And this version 1.0. And the kernel that we're using is 6.7.6, Arch 1-2. It's Arch, so every time you update, it's going to always put you to the latest and greatest. And you can see right here, the window manager is OpenBox. All right, you also get some GPU, CPU, and your memory. Say like on the memory right here, we're using 307 megabytes. And the terminal that I decided to use is going to be the LX terminal. It's the terminal I always use, so I just put it on here. All right. And the second item that we have pinned down here is going to be your file manager, which is Nemo. So here you'll see you got your basic folder layout, it's nothing new. It's just that you can see the hidden items, but if you do like that, then you don't see the hidden item. But pretty much on every system, you got your bash RC and stuff like that. So I'll activate the hidden items again. But there's a folder here called ISO. This folder right here, if you open it up, this right here is the system itself. So I included this in here. So if you want to create your own distro, you can do it. And it involves using Arch ISO and Arch install tools. But these are all installed. They're all burnt into the image itself, to the ISO. So you can use it all right here. And then in here, these are the folders that you will need to make all your changes and, all your labeling and branding, whatever you want to do. But I'm not going to go through all that right now. That's going to be its own separate video to show you how to get in there, change what you need to change so you can make it your own system. All right. But the file manager that I'm using is Nemo 6.0.2. All right. And last item that's pinned right here is going to be our web browser, which is Firefox. Nothing fancy about it. It's just Firefox. Standard Firefox, no branding on it, no default web pages, nothing. I just left it alone. Just version Firefox. And on the version, it's going to be 123.0. All right. And the rest, you got your volume, your internet, your date and time right here. So clicking on here opens up a calendar. All right. And this is our welcome screen that pops up. The first time you open up you boot up your system. Well, it'll boot up every time, but you have a button right here to remove it if you don't want to see it anymore. But I wanted to look at this last because this has a lot of tools that you can install. But right now it's basically just a vanilla Arch system with OpenBox. So it's nothing fancy. There's nothing special on here. It's not like I got something that nobody else. No, it's just a regular Arch install with a graphical user interface. That's all it is. So right here, you got a few buttons. You can update your system. I set it up so you can install the PAMAC. It's the software center that it's usually is used for Manjaro, but you could use it in Arch too. And I have a button right here to install Office tools, install graphics tools, install video tools, install audio tools. And I also got a button right here for your theme manager if you want to change the theme. And then a wallpaper manager and also a panel manager. So if you want to edit the panel, there's a button for it right here too. And I did put a link right here for the LinuxHub website. And if you don't want to see this again, you just click on remove from auto start. I mean, all you can install whatever you want, just opening up the terminal, or if you install these, the PAMAC, software center, then, you can just get in there and install what you want. So I'm not going to go through all of these and put you guys through it to see all the installations. Just so if you do decide to download it and play with it, you have all these options here. All right. So I'll go ahead and close that down. Alrighty. So like I said, it's not really has much nothing. Multimedia, you got your standard things that you need to play music and play videos. So it's basically all you need, you know what I mean? And your internet, you got what you need for your internet. Graphics, you got what you need. You got an image viewer, you got a photo editor. So you got your basics of what you need to get going. But like I said, if you want to install Office and all that, you could do it from the welcome screen, or you could just go into the terminal or software center if you install the PAMAC and do it yourself. All right. But anyways, I wanted you guys to take a look at LinuxHub Arch. I am going to make another video, like I said, and we are going to discuss this folder right here, this ISO folder, so you can create your own system. If you have the mindset to do this, you really don't need an explanation. You could get in here and figure it all out and do it yourself. But this is basically, if you play with Arch ISO, then you pretty much know what to do right here. The one thing, let me navigate to that folder right now. So we go into scale, local, share, scripts, and there's a folder here called LH installer. This right here is the actual installer. This right here is what actually installed the system. These files right here, not this folder, but these files. I'll even leave the archive folder in there so you can see my previous, what I was doing previously, so you can just go through it all. I don't mind. Judge me. I don't care. But these are the first window that opens up when you first boot up the ISO is this right here. So I'll open it up in the text editor, and let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys and give it some better color so you can see it. All right. And basically this all is, it said begin installation at the beginning. And what it opens up is this one file right here that's called all. So if I go back over here, here's all right here. And basically all this is your add username, user password, and root password. And then that takes you on to the next script, which is install to. So you go that, and this will be install to. Then you just open it up, and then bam. And you can pretty much play with it. You can change it and make it your own. One of the things you want to pay attention to when you're doing something like this is that you see, like right here, I got things called home, but if you just open it up here, it's not going to know. It's going to take you to the wrong destination, because you kind of have to think like if you're in the ISO and you're at that stage of the level. So some of the scripts that is changing are going to be in a folder called like mount Arch install, and then it has its own directories, because that's where you're going to be making all the changes. But like I said, I'm not going to go through all that explanation right now. I'm going to make a whole separate video on that. But for right now, if you want to just look in there and play with it, then you can look at it. And if you're nifty enough, you'll catch on and you'll figure out where all these go. But I'll make a better video to explain it all and kind of like clear up the picture so you can know where everything's going. And this is the image that's used when the installer opens. Like I said, you can edit this image. You can make it your own. Do what you want with it. Make your own system. You want to call it Godzilla Linux, then you just change all this and put Godzilla Linux on top and let it go. And it'll be your own system. All right. All right. That's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys that LinuxHub Arch Edition is done. It's ready. And it's coming with extra, as you can see. It's coming, and I'm making this so everyone can make their own distro, and it'll be an easy way to do it. All right. So that's going to do it for this video, and stay tuned for an explanation on creating your own Arch Linux distro. And from here on out, I'm just going to go ahead and make this the flagship, because this is going to be the easiest to maintain. The other ones, like the ones based on Linux Mint, I mean, I can still keep them up to date and all that. It won't be a big problem. But this is going to be my main system that I'm really going to be focused on, because this is the one that you could do the most with. You know what I mean? All right, you guys, that's going to do it for this video. Just remember, I'll have the download links up. By the time this video goes live, the download links will be available. All right. All right, you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one, and I'm out.